Hey everyone, it's Florence here. Okay, so in this section, I'm going to talk about what it means to unravel some of our embodied trauma, right? And this has to do with our muscle memory. This has to do with trauma looping, where we're always going back into the past and remembering a moment in time and looping back to that. Or even trauma looping can be repeating patterns of our past, going back into old relationships, or feeling that feeling of dread or fear inside of our bodies. So, in order to unravel that, um, it's first and foremost, it's really important that you have a safe space to work in. So here I've got my own private office. I've got a studio, and here I read books, and I make these videos, and I write, and I share time with my clients. It's a safe space. Okay, this is my space. When that door closes, no one comes in. I make sure to tell my family, my kids, my husband, my puppy, that I am not available for a certain period of time because I'm working. Okay. This is really important. Your environment is yours and your time is yours. Okay. So in order to create this safe space, we're going to be working on it and talking about it for a while. Um, but to key that in, make sure that you have a safe space to work. Okay. Um, so how do we unravel these pervasive and intrusive like thought patterns that loop back? Okay. Because these patterns are um, basically they hinder our ability to be present in the moment, to be open, to be willing to see the present moment and what lies in the future. Okay. Um, so here's the thing. It's important to talk about curiosity and to unravel some aspects of ourselves that need to be absolutely perfect in what we're doing, right? So often it's a mechanism of perfection that comes from the fear of repeating the past. And this can be a very deep trauma loop that might come from a childhood experience. Okay. And often, too, what happens in trauma when you have an experience in the past, it literally affects your hippocampus, the part of your brain that deals with memory. Okay. Ask any woman that has ever had a baby. It's a traumatic experience. And the body is set up to survive, right? So you have a baby, and then the hippocampus just empties all the memory into the body so that you don't actually remember the birthing process. That's good design for humanity's survival, right? Otherwise, nobody would have a baby. So I vaguely remember it being very painful. Okay. However, I use that example because it's a good one. When we have a traumatic experience, what happens is the hippocampus just like lets go of all the memory in the body, which is why victims of domestic violence and abuse often repeat patterns in relationships and often find themselves with people who are harming them. They can't get it. Why? It's because the memory of that moment, all the red flags, all those signs are suddenly gone. And it's hard to identify what someone who is going to harm you looks like for your future. Okay, that's just one example. Okay. But indeed, what we're doing is we're talking about fear. We're talking about unraveling fear and unraveling pervasive thoughts that make us go into the past. And this usually happens with a trigger, a smell, a sight, a taste, something we see on TV. And suddenly we are back in a memory in the past. We're back in an image of that moment. Okay. Or we're tracing and looping through fears, making sure everything is just so that we won't repeat that pattern. Okay. And although it's important to have certain safety measures in your life in order for you to feel safe enough to move forward. Okay. I'm a great advocate of that. It's also really important to recognize and to awaken to what are those intrusive thought patterns? What are those images, those moments that you want to heal? Okay. Um, okay, so it's an embodied practice. Okay, so we're going to be doing some imagination exercises. Okay, and we're going to be capturing some of those images over here, and we're going to be capturing the healing of the other messages over here. Okay, within a frame. All right, within our creative capacity to understand that this is in the past and this is in the future. And this is very present right now. We are healing this so that we don't keep looping back and looping back into the past. Okay. So in group, let's talk about that. In group, let's figure out what it is exactly you want to heal. Okay. What are you working on? And no judgment in that. Everybody's going to be working on a different thing. Okay. It's really important too in group that we talk about non-judgment. All right. What is this practice inside of us? What is the practice of not judging ourselves? Think about that. It's like saying to yourself over and over again, I can't get this wrong. This is impossible to get wrong. Why am I thinking I'm getting this wrong? I can't get this wrong. I'm in a creative healing practice and I'm just trying. And then I'm going to try again. And then I'm going to try again. Okay. So by releasing the non-judgment, I'm talking about judgment. And I think you know what that is because I confess I've been there too. Judgment. Oh, this is so stupid. This process is so stupid. I'm imagining this. I'm thinking about that. This is dumb. This is dumb. Okay, the judgment is name calling. We tend to name call ourselves. It's like we gaslight ourselves. Oh, this is so stupid. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh my God, this isn't good enough. This isn't good enough. Okay. So if we release all that, even when we're aware that when that happens, it's good that we're aware of that, let it go, breathe it through, go, no, I'm not going to judge myself for trying here. Okay. This is a good part of the mindset building in order to be able to really embrace this practice. Okay. And again, these are beginning days. Beginning days. All right. So allow yourself, okay, have a safe environment to be aware of those intrusive thoughts. Be conscious, okay, what exactly you want to work on. What do you want to work on? What do you want to heal? Because if we can name it, we can heal it. We can name it, we can work on it. Okay. So it's an important aspect of this process is to rejuvenate your embodied psychology and to start to develop a new and safe, sacred environment for the work. Again, this is a practice. So make sure that you have a safe environment. Some of you, I'm going to start to talk about this right now. Some of you have a very specific thing that you do that feels really good. Perhaps it's cooking, perhaps it's sewing, perhaps it's walking in the forest, perhaps it's reading poetry, perhaps it's playing music, dancing. I know some of you might be into that. Perhaps it's writing. I journal. I journal every single morning. It's deep therapeutic work for me. It's private. I might burn it before I die. Like, I'm not sure I want anybody else to have access to that. It's private, it's mine. Okay. So, what is yours? Okay. What is that thing you do that helps you to express and to explore and to discover this deep internal work? Okay. So, I'm going to encourage you to start to think about that. All right, everybody, take a look. There's some attached files here. We have a journey through trauma. We have somatic experiencing article, which is really interesting. I love Peter Levine's work, and some stats, some statistics. So if there's anything that you want to bring up within this lesson in group, I am so excited to share that time with you and to answer to the best of my ability, and of course invite everybody else in the group to share their experiences and what they think as well. All right, many blessings, and we'll see you in the next lesson.